What is going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. We're back talking the upcoming season, people. The fixture list has been released. The 24-25 schedule has been released. Well, the initial one before all the Sky and TV changes. But we've got a good idea of who we're playing and when we're playing them. So we're going to go through that. I want to get your thoughts on the quality in the league. I want to get your thoughts on, if you don't watch this live, where you think our trickiest period of the season is going to be. But yeah, I just want to get your thoughts in general on just the league in general, because I always say when you don't get promoted the first time, it's not going to hit you till the fixture list comes out. And the fixture list has come out, and I got to be honest with you, and we're speaking today, which is the 26th of June, before anyone's done any transfer business. I'm feeling pretty good. Not gonna lie. Before I get into it though, before I get myself clipped up, please hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, drop your comments below. Thank you to Mr. P for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated. Thank you to all existing members, of course, who support me in a really generous way. If you want to become a member and support me in that way, the link is in the description. Yeah, listen, what's going on? Listen, shout out to everyone that's joining. We're gonna have a good stream today, man. We're gonna have a good stream this morning. Matt saying, what's happening, KG? Hard start of the season for me, but don't want excuse from Farke. And this is, I'm going to get into all that, Matt. I'm going to get into this. And Mikey, you're echoing this. Morning, big man. There's no excuses this season for me. It's win or bust for Farke. Mikey, I was so close to putting that in the title itself. What I want to get straight off the bat is that the 49ers, Daniel Farke, the players, everybody involved, there is no excuses, because if we don't go up this season with the teams that are in this league, then we may not go up for a very, very long time. Because what we're going to start off with, and I'm basing everything off who I believe is still going to be here in addition to what we're bringing in. So we're working on that basis. Now, if we start selling players that I think are going to stay, then maybe I'll change my mind. But when I'm looking at the quality in this league this season, there is no Leicester, there's no Southampton. Will there be another Ipswich? How often does that happen? So when the way I'm looking at this is, as long as Leeds take care of business properly in the summer, I don't see why we're not winning this league, people. Okay. Now there's always going to be the naysayers that come up with problems and no solutions. But what I would say is, if we're talking about it from this point on with all the players we've got, we'd walk the league. But we know that we're going to lose Somerville, we're going to probably lose Nanto, and a couple of others. We're going to lose a couple of players, but we're going to bring in players also. And I just don't see, from the base that I believe we'll have, and I'm thinking Dan James, Ampadu, Melier, and other players like that who I believe will stay, and then those that come in, I don't see who's going to possibly be stronger. Maybe Burnley, maybe, but they're in flux, they're changing. There's a few rumors of a few of their better players leaving. So we have to look at it. But I'm just saying this: there are no excuses this season. There was, for me, we're right off last season because we're talking about a new one. But there is no excuses this season. We got a full preseason. The 49ers know the areas what we need to recruit in. Told you already that list has been sent out to agents of where we need. They've actively recruiting. It's up to them to fill the positions, make the squad stronger and more capable for a run that Daniel Farke trusts in the squad, and he will use them throughout the season. But yeah, Luke saying, I think it tastes like promotion. Yeah, Bobby saying, can we start with all that? It's a difficult start stuff. You have to play everyone twice regardless. We're talking like a newly promoted club. Yeah, I'm with you, Bobby, with all that stuff. I always say that about fixtures, in terms of, we know who's in the league, but it's just about when we're going to play them, because everyone has to play each other twice. But I think it's interesting to look at the beginning and the end, and you look at our, we'll get to it eventually, but you look at our running, it's nice. You can't ask for any more. I'll just be real with you. Chris saying, I remember I said that last season we wouldn't lose until Leicester. That went well. Well, it's different, Chris, and this is going to be you're always going to get comments from people talking about what happened last year. And look, I'm not blind. I'm not foolish. We do have the capacity to be Leedsy. Oh, 100% we do. But in terms of the teams that have come down, none of them are Southampton or Leicester. So we have to take advantage of this 100%. Yeah, Paul saying on paper it looks like a weaker league. It is a weaker league, Paul. Not just on paper, but look, shall we get into it, people? Shall we get into it? And I hope everyone's recovered from that snooze fest that was England last night. Boy, oh boy, that you guys, that team is hard to watch, man. Hard to watch. Southgate ball, man. Haram ball, as they say. But look, here we are, people. The fixtures are out. Yeah, Keith, yeah. Going to start calling you Gandalf. You arrive precisely when you mean to, never late. I try not to be, yeah. I always try. I'm always trying to be Ja Rule, man, always on time. You know what I mean? I think it's just courteous to you guys. You know what I mean? If I'm late, it means it kind of means it would have to mean that there's a serious emergency that why I'm late, or it just means I'm taking advantage of you because I know you'll be here, which I'm never going to do. So yeah, I'll always try and be on time when I set the time. If I need to move it back, I'll move it back and it will reflect in the time. So I appreciate that, Keith. Thank you. Ali saying, who do we fear on that list? Apart from maybe Burnley, no one, no excuses this season. Ali, I'm with you 100%. And even Burnley at this stage. And this is me talking, by the way, before anyone's recruited. Sheffield United haven't recruited. Luton haven't recruited. Burnley haven't recruited. We don't know what everyone's doing. We haven't recruited. I'm just saying, off the basis of where we are right now, I'm looking at the fixtures now. Look, we're looking at the first 3 months. What are we worried about here? What are we worried about? And Mikey, I've said this multiple times, but Mikey echoing this. The teams that have come down are championship teams. They're not Prem teams. Mikey, 1000%. We knew when those 3 came up last year to the Prem, they were going to go down. We didn't know how horrifically it was going to be for one of them in particular, conceding over 100 goals. We didn't know that Burnley were going to just do the Vincent Company thing and just play their style no matter what, a la Bielsa. You know, and then Luton, they were punchy. But you know what Luton did in the Prem? They had a little nice run. And I tell you where it fell apart for Luton is that they had I think it was a home game against Sheffield United. And up to that point, they had a little decent run going, but they got cocky. They thought, it's the whipping boys. We can just turn up. In the end, they didn't win that game and they went on a horrendous run. And they didn't have the quality. I look at Luton's team, people. Who am I worried about on Luton's team? And I know this all sounds very, Leeds United fan is over cocky. I'm being honest I'm a football man. And when we was talking about Southampton, Leicester, you could say, all right, then Leicester, yeah, they've got Dewsbury Hall, they've got Iheanacho, Vardy, Daka, Mavidivi, Fatawu. They've got players on that team that can hurt you. You took their fullbacks, Pereira, Justin. We're not talking about any teams that have got any of that quality that have come down. Southampton, of course, at this level, Armstrong. Even if you want Che Adams, all these guys. But I'm looking at the 3 teams that come down. They were championship teams parading as Premier League teams. They were 100%. Chris King, he's saying Southgate ball is Farker ball without the accent and voice. I hear it, Chris. Paul saying Sheffield United and that Chris Wilde again. No, hate that guy. Look, yeah, Paul, look, we're always going to have fixtures where there's going to be animosity there. Derby are back in the league. Sheffield Wednesday always uses as their big day out. There's always going to be that, but that's for this team and this club to overcome that kind of stuff where people have their best game against us and it affects the outcome. It's up to Leeds United to recruit properly to make sure that no matter the team that's coming for their cup final, that we take care of business. And that's why the recruitment is going to be so important. Spence saying, if we ever had the chance to go up, it's this season, KG. If we don't go up this season, Spence, it is a complete and utter failure. And I don't want to hear any excuses. There's none. There are no excuses. They tried them last season. Maybe they had a point with a couple, but we reached the top. We weren't chasing all season. We did actually go top. Then once we went to the top, we crumbled. So I don't want to hear any excuses. We got a full preseason. The club know what we need to do in terms of recruitment. There are no excuses. The league is legitimately weaker this season. I don't want to hear it. Seriously. Lee Marshall saying Luton long ball team only scoring from corners. Luton are a championship, man. Listen, kudos for going up, but I liken it to when Huddersfield went up and other teams like that. Nice that you had your season or 2 in the sun, but you were pretenders up there. Yeah, Ali saying they've already lost Barkley. Yeah, Luton losing Barkley to Villa, and of course, if they had Barkley in the league, then you're talking a game changer at this level, and I mean at this level. but he's going to be moving. He's going to be staying in the Prem, people. Jack saying, I can't believe Che Adams is getting a Prem move. The game's gone. The game's been gone, Jack. You know what I mean? It's been gone, you know. And but the thing is, Jack, I'm glad he's going to somewhere in the Prem, and it would be like a Wolves or Forest. It makes a lot of sense just in the way that they recruit. And you know, good luck to him. But at least it just means he's not going to be here. That's all I'm saying. David saying, start of the season, make or break for Farker. Don't see the run to October as anything other than difficult. Well, look, let's talk about the first 3 months then, yeah? In terms of the opening, I think you always worry about not worry, but you're always nervy about the beginning of the season. It's purely because everybody is up for it. We all start from zero. Everybody fancies their chances, especially in this league, the championship. Everyone will go, even if they're relegation fodder, they'll say, if we've got enough team spirit, if we can crawl enough points up in the first couple months, maybe there's a chance we can make the playoffs. Every team is probably like that. But for us, why are we, Leeds United, in the state that we'll probably be in by that point, hopefully, be thinking, let's get an absolutely dominant run to start and just tell everybody, you know, lay out our intentions for the season. Now, Portsmouth at home, that's going to be a 12 o'clock kick, 12:30 kickoff. In terms of that, you know, again, it's one of those, the fixture list that I don't believe it's random at all. You know, Portsmouth newly promoted, we failed to get promotion. It's a juicy fixture for TV, 100%. You know, I think we're starting at home because there's a festival in the next week, so we're away that week. But yeah, we start off at Portsmouth at home. We've got to be looking at 3 points. Yeah, we have to be looking at 3 points there. West Brom away, we'll see what kind of shape West Brom are in, but we saw what West Brom were this season. Yeah, they finished in the playoff spot, but they are just a solid championship team. And I don't know if West Brom are on the last season of their parachute payments or if it just expired. I think it just expired this season. You know, don't quote me on that, but we'll see what kind of shape their team will be in. You know what I mean? I'm looking at that. You have to try and win those games. Sheffield Wednesday away, always tricky. You know, they're always up for this game. But again, you're looking at that one. Is it really that difficult? Is it? I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Is it a Friday? No, it's not. That one's not Friday. Portsmouth. It's 12:30. Is it on a Friday? I don't know, but it's 12:30 anyway, man. Uh, Yeah, Jack saying there's only 4 parachute payment teams this year. The league is weak this year. We have to get automatics. Yeah, I'm absolutely with you there, Jack. And yeah, Matt, I'm expecting Leeds to start like Leicester last season. You know what I'm saying in regards to Leicester, and I don't want to keep and I don't want to compare us to Leicester of last season, but I do believe that we should be doing something similar like them last year, where we go on an unbelievable run. Yes, we will have dips here and there. Of course, we will. I'm not expecting us to be consistent for 46 games. That's just unrealistic within itself. But I expect the blips to be few and far between. I expect them to be little, like they were for Leicester, pretty much like they were for Ipswich at a point, because Ipswich had a few dips, but it's just that they weren't losing. They kept drawing games. So I expect us to do something similar. I do not expect us to go into a blip like it was at the start of last year, with, you know, unsettled time, but then towards the end of the season where we absolutely collapsed. I don't expect that this season with the team that we'll have against the opposition that's in front of us. Because I just want anyone that thinks I'm talking crazy or a little bit too confident. I don't want to hear you if you're going to just say we're not going to get promoted this year. I want you to name the 3 teams that you think are going to get promoted ahead of us. Otherwise, I don't want to hear it. I'm being serious. I don't want to hear the usual moaners that always say everything is doom and gloom at this football club, and then don't give me the 3 teams, because then you're just waffling, or you're just getting your negativity out there just because that's how you live your life. I want to hear the 3 teams that you genuinely believe will finish above Leeds United this season, and that is it. I do. If you don't do it, don't bother commenting. Seriously. Darren saying, surely we're aiming for an invincible season. Well, I put 100 points on the thing because, hey, man, listen, you know, Kevin Garnett said anything is possible. You know, one of those. But I do think that we've got a chance to ramp this league apart. And listen, we're only on the first few months here. We're only on the first few months. So look, we got Hull City as well, end of August, 36 Crazy Fish at the end of August. If you know, you know. I'm seeing difficulty. I'm seeing teams being up for it, but then I've got to see that my team is up for it too, and that we'll have the quality to overcome all that excitement and the fresh new season smell that these teams will have. September comes, Burnley at home. Okay, tricky, just been relegated. We'll see what kind of shape Burnley are in, and we'll revisit this, of course, as the transfer window, rolls on and finishes. Cardiff away, got to win that one. Coventry at home. You got to look at wins here, people. I'm sorry. Luke here, 50 pounds on 100. Boy, Luke, that's bet responsibly. That's all I'm saying. Bet responsibly. Kevin saying lots of people saying it's a walk in the park this season. We can't get over complacent, KG, and I'm a positive person, so don't shoot me down. I'm not shooting anyone, Kevin, but what I'll say is we're talking as fans, Kevin. Like, the players and the manager will be professional, as they should. They won't be looking at Portsmouth and West Brom and Sheffield Wednesday and Hull saying these are 3 points in the bag. They'll be preparing as they should be as a professional football team. I'm saying as fans, though, I'm not concerned. And I'm talking for myself. I don't speak for anybody else. I speak for myself. I'm not concerned about this league this season. Because if we don't go up, it's on us. And there's no one else to blame. Absolutely no one. Don't blame refs. Don't blame anything else. We know what we need. And if we don't get it, it's on us for not achieving it. Okay, so we go into Norwich. We go into October. Norwich away, Sunderland away. Okay, all right. That could be a bit tricky, granted. Then you got 2 home games against Sheffield United and Watford. And just to say on Watford as well, one of their better players last season, Ismail Kone, is moving to Marseille, and they're going to get around £50 million for him. So there you go. Another year in the Championship for Watford just means more of their better players that just have to leave. That's just the way it is. So there you are. Watford getting a little bit weaker. And then Bristol City away to finish October. Are the first 3 months concerning anybody? And look, don't let anything I've said, stop you from saying anything. I just want everyone to let me know what in those teams would concern them in comparison to what we should have and what we'll be adding to our team come the end of the transfer window. That's all I want to know. You have to give me reasons, people. You have to. Okay, let's move down. Let's move down. Here we go. November, December, January. Plymouth at home. I feel like we've played Plymouth about 10 times in the last year. I feel like it anyway. Plymouth at home, Millwall away. Millwall's usually a tough one, but we did well against them last year. QPR at home, Swansea away, Luton at home, Blackburn away. Again, I'm looking for good point totals in this month. I am. I'm not looking at November and thinking, woof, we may lose one, possibly even 2, but I would expect in the remaining 4 to get points out of them. I would. Mike is saying Norwich also need to sell to keep in line with FFP. Yeah, I've seen that. I know that Sarah is being heavily linked with Roma, which makes a lot of sense. I would love to have got Gabby Sarah in this team, but for the price that I'm seeing that's being quoted, I don't think we'd have a chance. I think he's going for quite a big money. And yeah, they do need to sell, but that's the danger you have when you don't get promoted. Your team gets whittled down into just regular old championship fodder, and you just become another championship team. That is why it's imperative. And look, people, if we don't go up this season, not only will that be a disaster, next year will be our final year of parachute payments, and it gets reduced. So just think of the players that we've got now to use as a base. They'll probably have to go in the summer next year. It's important that we get this done. Chris King, he never fails. Farker is my reason why we would fail. I understand. Ali saying, and with Rooney in charge, easy 3 points. Doubt they have Whittaker either. Yeah, Whittaker's been linked with a few clubs, Ali, from Plymouth. And yeah, we're talking Wayne Rooney here, whose managerial record is shocking everywhere. We're not talking about Rooney, the player who was absolutely brilliant. It doesn't matter what you think. I don't like saying that because football is football, but he was a brilliant player. But as a manager, he stinks. So I don't see why I'd be concerned about Plymouth at home. Jack saying we should win every game in November and December. Well, let's go into December, Jack. Derby at home. Obviously, Derby are going to be up for it. Always going to be up for it after, the recent rivalry we've had with them. But they've just come up from League One, people. We should be taking care of them. Middlesbrough at home. Preston away. Oxford at home. Stoke away. Derby away. Damn, we're doing a double Derby in December. Lord have mercy. At least we're getting that out of the way. But yeah, I didn't even realize that. So we got Derby twice, home and away. Fairs, fairs. But yeah, again, December is usually the tricky time. And yeah, Stoke on a Boxing Day, maybe a little bit chilly, but come on, let's cope with it and let's do the business. Yeah. And listen, that Stoke away could be a loss. I'm not gonna lie to you, but again, I'm looking at December. Good point totals should be achieved. It should. If you think I'm being over enthusiastic at any point, please let me know in the chat or let me know in the comments if you think that I'm being over enthusiastic in saying I believe we should achieve good point totals for the months I've said so far. Please. Yeah, Paul saying Derby games are always a bit spicy, goes back decades. I mean, I don't know about decades, Paul. Maybe you'd know more than I would, but in the Premier League, they didn't seem that spicy to me when we was in the Prem, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. They were just other regular Premier League games to me. I feel like the rivalry only started since the whole Spygate nonsense with Lampard. But that's just me. Um, David saying, got to take into account how the final run of fixtures went for us last season and a hangover it could leave on the players that are still at the club. Well, in that case, David, we might as well pack up and go home then. This is what sports are all about. I've literally just seen the NHL Stanley Cup winners. They won the Stanley Cup this season after losing last season. So that would be like them saying, you know what, we failed last season. It's not going to happen for us next year. No, it's about learning from those mistakes, David, and everybody else who thinks this way. If you're going to think like that, then we might as well not bother showing up this season. You know what I mean? There will be lessons learned by everybody, Farker included. You hope. Well, otherwise, we're not doing what we're supposed to, people. But that's sports. You fail at one bit, you learn, and you come back stronger the next year. That's how it goes. Brentford themselves didn't go up the 1 year, failed in that, went up the next year. Multiple teams do it. We did it. We did it, David. Everyone else. We did it under Bielsa. We absolutely choked that season. We choked. Sheffield United, all them went up. We stayed down. What did we do? We came back stronger the next year and we went up. COVID, worldwide pandemic and all that, but we still did it, didn't we? It's about learning from your mistakes for me, people. Look, Luke saying some negative fans about. I won't say that, Luke, but what I will say, Luke, is that it's because of what happened last season has happened many times before, Luke. Whenever something looks like it's going right for Leeds, somehow, some way, this football club will snatch the jaws of victory from defeat or something like that, whatever it is. We always seem to get in our own way. We always seem to do it, Luke. So I do get people's trepidations, but what I want is people to explain your trepidations. Don't just tell me about what we're going to do to fail. Tell me who's going to jump above us. Tell me who should we be worried about. That's what I'm saying. Bobby also saying Farker did it with Norwich too. Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. For anyone that thinks now we're going to get to the final 10 games of the season and all of a sudden it's going to end the same way that this season, if that happened, then we just suck. Plain and simple, we suck. But I don't think it's going to happen next season. Luke follows on. If last season taught us anything, it's that we don't do playoffs. We have to have faith in the boys this year. We have 100. Well, we'll see what recruitment is like, Luke. And I make that clear. My stance is on what's left over and who recruit. That's going to be vitally important. So yeah, there we are. Have I done January? Yeah. Okay. So the new year kicks in. New transfer window. Blackburn at home, Hull away, Sheffield Wednesday at home, Norwich at home, Burnley away. Yeah, out of the 5, 2, 3 wins, possibly. January probably a little bit tricky, maybe, but again, 3 home games in that. I'm expecting points. I am. So then we go to the final months. February, Cardiff at home, Coventry away, Watford away, Sunderland at home, Sheffield United away. Yeah. And March, West Brom, Portsmouth, Millwall, QPR, Swansea. I mean, look at that running for March, people. That's crazy. That is points galore. And I could be talking, I mean, Earth here. That is points galore there. West Brom at home, Portsmouth away, Millwall at home, QPR away, Swansea at home. Come on. And then you've got April, Luton, Middlesbrough, Preston, Oxford, Stoke, Bristol City. and we end the season, and I'm sure it will be a nice little party for people that will be heading down to Plymouth. Nice little promotion party. May the 3rd, we end up Plymouth away. Don't know, how it draws out that way, but fair enough. But again, you just look at that. Look at the final few months. I'm saying, and I'm just gonna, put a bow on it in this way. Nothing but promotion for me this season, people. Yeah, nothing but promotion. Bobby saying, I notice as a fan base, our standards are just on the floor way too often. Even with the Liam Miller stuff, he should not be starting for us. I don't think he'll be starting if he was to come here, Bobby. I made my thoughts clear on the Liam Miller stuff yesterday. If he's to come in, he's going to basically be the Jaden Anthony replacement. I would fully expect them to recruit a first choice winger. He's not first choice. And look, Isaac, who's a member of the channel, shout out to you. He respectively disagreed with me on the whole Liam Miller stuff. But in Isaac's words, he said that he's confident, direct, and loves to shoot. In that case, his goal return for both clubs and country is very bad, which means that his shooting percentage is in the toilet. He's got 1 goal for Canada. And with all due respect to the teams that Canada play, they're trash. They're rubbish teams over in those parts of the world. They're crap teams in general. And the fact he's only got 1 goal is poor. 5 goals for Preston, brilliant. But the seasons before that, didn't register goals, hardly registered assists. And you're talking about the Swiss league. But maybe I think Isaac is from North America, so maybe it's that whole North America thing where they want their players to do well. I'm just saying that if he's to come, it would be a squad option, but we would have a first choice winger coming in 100%. He's not it. He's definitely not it, and I think he'd frustrate a lot of people. But I spoke about that on yesterday's video, so if you want to hear that, go back on that one. Well, everyone anyway. No. I'm not going into it. So yeah. Spence saying, if we can get the Blackburn striker, we'll ramp it. Can't remember his name. He got 30 goals. Yeah, he's not a striker. He's an attacking midfielder. It's Smodix you talking about, Spence. Yeah, look, I just don't think it's on the cards. We're not in for an attacking midfielder, apparently. In terms of the list that was sent out, a number 10 isn't on it. A goalkeeper's not on it. Number 10 isn't on it, and neither is the striker. So it would surprise me. Maybe they'll pivot the plans, change their plans accordingly if anything changes. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be in for him. He would be brilliant, though. He would be absolutely brilliant. He's somebody that's a difference maker at this level. 100%. Smodix would be tremendous, and he's elite. He's got Leeds United in him. The way that he plays, he plays on the edge. He's got the S house about him. Scores goals. Does all the working hard stuff. Yeah, he would be perfect, but I just don't think we're going to be in for him. So yeah, and just to wrap a bow on this, just key dates for the season. This is from the Athletic article. We know that the window's open, but 30th of June is soon approaching. That PSR period will be coming to an end, and I expect business to start rolling in come July. And that's when we'll really talk up about transfers coming in. Like I say, I'm very relaxed about the situation right now in terms of the lack of activity. It's understandable with the PSR period, but just to clarify on that as well, the window closes on the Friday, the 30th of August. So all business needs to be done by 11 p.m. Friday, August 30th, which hopefully we'll get most of our ducks in a row by then. But we know there's always a little bit of last minute business that's done with the Premier League teams that decide they don't want certain players, and etc. The winter transfer window opens on Wednesday, January the 1st, closing on Monday, February 3rd. So there we are. In terms of that, so those are key dates to also remember. Okay, yeah. So that is it. And just a quick note as well on Chris Somerville. It doesn't really concern us because what we're looking for is Chris Somerville to be sold. But Jack Talbot, who's very good at the Newcastle Everton kind of transfers, just saying about Somerville, Newcastle believe that he can play on the right or even down the middle. That's an interesting thing for them. I think he's definitely more effective from the left, but that wouldn't be our problem. The only thing I'm thinking of is if Newcastle get business done, they can then put in a bid and start a bidding war for Somerville, which means we can do more business at this level to make the fixture list even more easy looking. So that's all I wanted to say in regards on the Somerville note. But that is it, people. That is it for the stream. Look, let me know in the comments if you think that there's any difficult periods that in the season that we're going to have. Let me know if you think we're not going up. You need to tell me who's going to be the 3 teams that's going to be beating us. You have to do that. All right. Otherwise, I don't want to hear it. But listen, people, that's been the stream. I hope everyone has a good day. Be good. Hope you're feeling good, smelling good. Like the video before you go. And I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out.